Right. Oh, and we can see your Crocs. Perfect. Sydney, cheers.
Cheers.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Thanks for having me, Zane.
Thanks for having me. This is your backyard. It's lovely. And what are we drinking?
So, went to QFC. They had these guava sparkling water drinks on sale. Buy one, get one free. So this is guava with sparkling water and some boxed white wine.
Classy. Welcome to Article 5. This is a show about the system, and today's systemic issue that we're looking at is the discourse. And, how we talk to each other, or don't talk to each other for that matter. Article 5 is the part of the Constitution that says the rules for how you can change the Constitution. That is the ultimate systemic issue, in my view. That's what my work is about, but the podcast is about a couple other things. So first episode was about AI, and we'll have another episode about that at some point in the future. Today's episode is about our broken political discourse. And other than Donald Trump himself, no one, in my opinion, has embodied the discourse of social media and how, of this whole era, more than Charlie Kirk. And after his assassination in September of 2025 of last year, there was the most discourse about it. I'm sure you've heard every single possible take about Charlie Kirk and his death. We're not really going to talk about that so much here, but what we want to do here is we want to engage with his ideas and treat him like the brilliant man that he really was. And one of the things that I want to say right off the top about Charlie Kirk is that I really respected him for being a man in the arena. And I mean that in like the Teddy Roosevelt sort of way. And Teddy Roosevelt had this great speech from like 1910, and he has this great section about the man in the arena where he's like, basically, it's not the critic who counts, it's the person who's actually in the arena doing the things, who's getting dirty and in the brawl, and the credit and the glory belongs to that person, or their shame or whatever, right? And Charlie Kirk to me embodied that. So, but we'll talk about Charlie Kirk and his ideas later in the show. But first, I want to introduce my guest. It's my friend Sydney, and Sydney is a nurse who's lived in Seattle for a few years now. And we met through some mutual Ultimate Frisbee friends. I do not play Ultimate Frisbee, but Sydney does. And so the reason I wanted to bring Sydney on the show, so first off, thank you for coming on the show, Sydney.
Of course, yeah, thank you for having me.
The reason I wanted to bring you on the show is because you are someone who has changed your mind about political beliefs in your life. And I'm really curious about how that happened and what kind of discourse led to that.
Totally.
and furthered it and all that. So maybe let's start with how old are you and when was the first time you voted?
Yeah, so I'm 31 years old. The first time I voted was in 2012. I had just turned 18, like 2 weeks before the 2012 presidential election.
And who did you vote for?
I voted for Mitt Romney. It was Mitt Romney versus Barack Obama. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
So I'll start off by giving some background about myself and a little bit about my family. So I live in Seattle now, but I grew up in northern Idaho in a town called Hayden, which is really close to Coeur d'Alene. It's at the very, very top of the state. I have two parents who are still married, one big sister, and I'll be talking about my dad multiple times because he is a huge part of my story and my upbringing, of course. And so just a little bit of background to kind of paint a picture about him is that he was actually someone who was born into poverty or close to poverty. And he worked really hard in his life to get to where he is. He climbed the ladder at work, he got married, he had a family, and he worked hard. And he's someone, as some might say, who pulled himself up by the bootstraps.
Nice.
Yeah, he worked really hard, and like, and so.
So you're growing up in like the 2000s.
Yeah.
Right. This is the 2000s.
Yeah, born in
A
1994.
different era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a different era, and yeah. So basically, my dad, like, and this is now leading up to like my life and my decision going into the 2012 election, would really literally sit me down at the kitchen table, and he would teach me about why conservatism is better than liberalism, and he would teach me about why capitalism is great and important. And a lot.
And why was that?
Yeah, great question. So a lot of it had to do with really being able to build wealth, being able to kind of like climb the ladder. A lot of it was also like hands-off government. My dad identifies as an independent, but really consumes a lot of like very right-wing media, and he has for like I think all of his adult life. But he identifies as an independent, really supports hands-off government. So a lot of it was about like building independence, building wealth, and
kind of libertarian kind of ideas too.
Yeah, libertarian kind of, yes, definitely. And so
was there like was there cable news on when you were in high school? Was that kind of a thing?
Fox News was on.
Fox News on, yeah, for sure.
You know, I don't actually remember if it was only Fox News when I was in high school. I think there were maybe some other news stations.
Sure.
Certainly now, when I go home, it is only Fox News.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like in the lead up to the 2012 election, like we're pretty close in age, and so I was 15 when Obama was elected the first time. So I was in college the second time, but I feel like my political beliefs had already kind of been forming at that point. And so was that how it was for you too?
You mean by the 2012 election?
Like throughout Obama's first term, let's say, because you're in high school.
Yeah, you know, let's just say that there was like really no question for who I was going to vote for leading up to 2012. Like there was definitely like sadness and like frustration and despair in my household when Obama won the first time. And I don't know, like I wasn't like personally political at this time. You know, like I was like a teenager and just doing my own thing, going to school.
Yeah.
I didn't personally care a whole lot, but I definitely was around like my family and even like friends of family who were bummed about that.
Was that a bird?
I don't know. It was a loud squeak.
I think that was a bird. Oh, that's great. Sorry, continue.
That's okay.
But like the whole like social milieu is kind of conservative. You're in.
For sure. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like Coeur d'Alene is very conservative. It's not very big. It's got like 50,000 people. And maybe it's becoming less so as time goes on, but it was definitely just like a very, like that was the norm was to be a Republican, certainly.
Right.
Yeah.
So 2012, you vote for Romney. How did you feel about that vote at the time?
I felt fine. I didn't feel super strongly. I have a memory of doing like a little bit of Googling, like, Mitt Romney and what he stood for, Barack Obama and what he stood for, and I was like, yeah, okay, Mitt Romney sounds good. Okay, sure, you know, but like, and I was not forced to vote for Mitt Romney, but like, it would have been like wild if I voted for Obama at that time. Like, it just wasn't part of my. It wasn't even a question. I was just like, okay, yeah, like Mitt Romney matches what I want, and so sounds good. Yeah, okay, for sure. Okay, so what happens? So it's you were a senior in high school at this time? Correct.
You're a senior. Okay.
Yes.
So Mitt Romney obviously doesn't win. Obama wins his second term, and then you graduate high school. Did you go to college?
I did go to college.
Okay, where did you go to college?
So the following year, I went to Boise State University, also in Idaho. So it is funny because when I went to college, my parents sent me off, and my dad literally said the words, "Don't let that liberal school turn you liberal." And so,
Oops.
oops. Yeah, so he said that, and then really the next few years were just kind of wild. Like, wild as in like, oh, I don't think I'm conservative actually, and like and so we can get into
Yeah,
more
like
of
what
those
is
details.
Yeah, but like what does that
What does that look like?
what does that look like, or what is because I think a lot of people change their minds about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And a theme that I want to stress: you are allowed to change your mind.
Yes.
You're allowed to change your mind, and you're not only allowed to change your mind the way that Sydney's changing her mind or
Right.
has changed her mind.
Yeah,
You can change your mind.
Totally. This is just one story. This is one anecdote.
Yes.
It's okay to change your mind, and it's hard, and that's understandable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've changed my mind about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about your experience. So,
Okay.
what was it like the first year
Okay.
of college?
Yeah. So first year of college, actually, something that is like that really sticks out in my mind. My freshman year of college, I had a floor mate, Dylan. Hey, Dylan. Who really questioned me about my beliefs. Dylan was also from Idaho, and he was a poli-sci major, and he was like just really open about his political beliefs and just like talking to people. And so he asked me like more than once of like, okay, so like why are you a Republican? Why?
Right.
Like what's your stance there, you know?
And was it a why that's like a genuine? It's like a genuine why. It's not like a why. You know?
It was a genuine why. I mean, definitely I could tell that he wanted me to not think that way.
For sure.
But I think mostly he just like wanted to hear like exactly why.
Yeah.
And it made me uncomfortable, to be honest. Like, it was hard to, not the way that he went about it, but even just the question of like, what do you mean why? Like, no one had ever come up to me who is like really open about their different beliefs in mine and been like, so why do you believe that way? It was the first time when I was like, wow, like this is kind of, it's hard.
And you're not just explaining it to him, like you're kind of explaining it to yourself too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It was like, oh, like, can I really explain why I believe all of these things? And so like, you know, I had the reasons.
Like what's a thing?
Like, let's see, like being able to like build wealth and get rich.
Okay.
Like
okay.
that's a thing. Having secure borders, like not allowing immigrants into our
Okay.
country, stuff like that.
So you feel like you changed your mind on that? Like that was, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so kind of like, and the reason why I bring up Dylan is because it's like the first memory I have of really being like, oh yeah, like why? Like let me really think about this.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can explain myself. And while this is going, you know, like that's like one thing that's happening in college life.
Yeah.
You're meeting a whole bunch of new people, you're going to classes, it's like extremely social. And the coursework part of it, like something that definitely happened to me there was you really, like, I don't want to say, I guess I'll just say it, learn how to think critically. Like you when questions are asked to you, you have to answer them, like really explain yourself
Yeah.
from like beginning, middle to end, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like you have to do the research. You have to know how to research. You have to know the facts. You have to know what's an opinion, what's a fact. And like you just like really, and you don't have to, I'm not saying you have to go to college to learn how to critically think.
Right.
That's not saying that, but that is what happened to me. And so
What kind of classes were you taking?
yeah, something that really sticks out that I think has a big part of kind of changing my mind as well is Sociology 101 and 102. It was the first time I learned things like, and I don't want these to be just like buzzwords that turn people away. Please stay for the discourse. Learned things about misogyny, patriarchy.
Were those new concepts to you?
They were new concepts to me, absolutely.
Yeah.
I did not know about them
Yeah.
really until my sociology classes. Racism,
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
kind of what was going on.
And I'm curious how you found sociology, because when I was in college, I knew I wanted to do political science, but I ended up I did study political science, but I studied philosophy, and I think of myself like that was my actual major, more so than political science. And it was interesting because I didn't come into college thinking that I wanted to study philosophy at all. And I just kind of like stumbled in. That freshman year, I just kind of was taking classes in different fields. I took a psychology class. I was like, not really for me. Took a philosophy class, and it was really interesting to me. And I distinctly remember taking, it was like ethics 102 or something like that. And it was about abortion. And I wrote a paper about abortion, right, like the morality of it. And in philosophy, what you're trained to do is you have to make your argument, but then you have to deconstruct your own argument. You have to pick your own argument apart as best as you can. Like you have to give credence as much as you can to the other side of the argument. And it didn't fully change my beliefs on abortion, but it really, I still remember it. It was like, that was like my first like really good philosophy paper. So I'm curious how you found sociology. And,
It was a prerequisite. So I studied nursing. I don't think we ever said that part. I'm a nurse now, so maybe it was obvious, but I had a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. That's what I was studying. But freshman year, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't know that I was doing nursing yet.
Right.
And so I was just taking like kind of basic prerequisites.
Okay.
And so Sociology 101 was just like,
It was one of the prereqs.
it was just one of the prereqs. And I was like, oh, that sounds good. And then I thought it was really interesting, and I didn't have to take Sociology 102, but I chose to take Sociology 102 because it struck a chord.
Yeah. When you're so now you're getting into the sociology. You're going through college. I don't want to like completely dissect your entire college experience.
That's okay.
But eventually you get to 2016. You're still in college in 2016?
Yep. I'm a junior in college in 2016. So, and this is the next presidential election. So 2016, Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So I'm a junior in college at this time, and my short answer is that I didn't vote. I didn't vote in 2016, and that's ultimately because it made me feel so uncomfortable. I remember I didn't like Donald Trump. I didn't want to vote for him. I didn't necessarily like Hillary Clinton. I didn't like feel strongly about voting for her. If I did vote, it would have been for her. But truthfully, it felt like a total betrayal to do that.
Right.
It felt like scary kind of to do that.
When you say betrayal, like betrayal, like is that identity? Is that to your family? Is that like what is that?
I think I mostly mean my family. Like, betrayal to my family. Maybe and I don't think it was betrayal to identity, but there was like certainly confusion of identity.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because political beliefs, and I think this is something that is more so now, but it's been in the past too. Like your political belief can become part of your identity.
Yeah.
And so then you hear someone attack a political belief. They're not attacking you, but they're like, I'm railing on this issue, and then you hear that and you're like, I feel attacked, and that's it's hard. It's a real emotion though.
Totally. Yeah. It's very, and feeling such strong emotions, I think, can also relate to like the nature of the discourse that we have nowadays. Like, I think it's normal to get emotional about these things that we believe in. Yeah. But like to get so angry and so anxious and so sad, like I feel like social media honestly like has done a really good job of like increasing those emotions.
Oh my God.
Horribly so. And like so, but yes, we can, and maybe we're gonna move into that a little more later. But
well, I'm curious. What, as you're going through this, so then, okay, in 2016 you didn't vote, and in 2020, how did you vote?
I voted for Joe Biden in 2020.
Did you vote in the primary? Do you remember your primary vote?
I don't think I did vote in the primary.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yep.
Anyway.
So kind of what happens now in 2020, I clearly felt confident enough to vote for the liberal candidate. Like still didn't like Donald Trump and like whatever, Joe Biden, I didn't love him either, but certainly I
Sure.
felt confident
voted
about voting for him.
You voted for him. Yeah,
Anyway.
Yeah.
So basically kind of what happened here to this point in my life. So it's post college, I've graduated, I'm living in Boise working as a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, basically I feel kind of like separated enough from my family. I feel like I can make my own decisions without really betraying them. It's okay to be an opinionated woman. But also I wanted to tie back into the, there's like really like one change that I can like point to. I was talking earlier about how my dad is someone who pulled himself up by the bootstraps. So this is like, I think it's fair to say that in like conservatism amongst like people who vote Republican or even like independent, think that that's a really wonderful quality to be able to like come from little, work really hard to a point where you're able to like make money and afford healthcare, afford education and things like this. The change for me that happened was I went from believing that like everybody can do that if they try hard enough. Everybody can get to a point where they're making good money, where they're healthy, if they put in the effort. And if you can put in the effort, then you deserve good things. The change that happened here is that I believe that everybody is different and there are different groups of people who face challenges that can't just do that. Even if they do work hard, like people of color, for example, even if they do work hard, they face certain challenges that would be barriers to them for getting to that point of like the good things, quote unquote, like making a lot of money and being able to afford healthcare and education.
Do you feel like you've faced those kinds of challenges in your life to some degree?
I mean, I feel very privileged. I mean, like I come from like upper middle class.
Yeah.
And so like my college was paid for. Like I don't even have student debt. And so I feel like really like privileged and lucky to like be where I am. I think being a woman does have a lot of challenges. It's hard to like take up space and be confident and show your opinions as a woman sometimes because it doesn't feel safe all the time.
Yeah, I hear that. On the bootstraps point, so one thing is it's a very appealing story. It's a very appealing, like, I'm gonna be a self-made man, self-made woman, like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make my mark.
Our culture really emphasizes the value in that, I think.
Do you think there is value in that?
I mean, this kind of relates to capitalism. Like, I don't think, even if you are someone who's like healthy, able, able to work really hard, I don't think that as human beings, anyone should be expected to be productive all of the time. Or for 40 hours a week. Like, I think it's kind of a ridiculous ask of human beings, like really no matter who you are. I think that we have like a mental health crisis and like people can't afford healthcare, even people who are like fairly wealthy, you know, like does that answer your question? I actually kind of forgot what you asked.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Feel good about my answer, but I forgot the question.
Well, so also throughout this time, you're still talking with your family, right?
I mean, we still talk. I have like a pretty good relationship with my mom. My dad and we've really grown apart, and it sucks. It's sad. We definitely, like, I think my dad and I are both someone who feel really passionate about politics. We're probably the two like most passionate people of our family,
Yeah.
politics wise. But now we have differing
Right.
views, and he really did, like I was saying, he with intention raised me and like sat me down and had conversations with me of like why these things are good and beneficial. And so like he tried really hard, and now and then he paid for my college tuition, and then the liberal school turned me liberal. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Well,
but
actually,
it is hard though, because like that literally is how he views it. That is
Right.
for sure how he views it.
Right.
And we have unfortunately grown apart, and I'm glad you asked, because it's part of the discourse that I want to bring up is I wish
Yeah.
that it didn't have to be like this. And
Yeah.
it's not just like a me and my father thing. I know that it's really hard for a lot of people to
Yeah.
talk about politics. It's uncomfortable, and I wish that we could talk more like freely and more calmly without just being heightened in our emotions
Yeah.
quickly and easily. I wish that we could just like talk to people
Yeah.
like this. Get off our phones,
Yeah, the
stop
phones.
scrolling,
Yeah.
stop being mean to people online who you're never gonna meet, and just like have face-to-face conversations and ask questions.
Yeah. Well, and so the irony is that this is going to be disseminated online. So there's a couple of threads there.
Yeah, true.
I also think what you said about the emotions and the polarization, I think Charlie Kirk like actually embodies a lot of those things.
yeah.
And for me, in a lot of negative ways, I think he was the best at what he did.
Really good at it.
He was really good at it, and there's like a cottage industry of people who are trying to basically replicate what he did.
Yeah.
Kind of myself included, in like, you know, I'm doing this, I'm talking to you, I'm trying to talk to other people, trying to go around to colleges and whatnot. But the what you said about the liberal school turning you liberal.
Yes.
They're gonna say
Yeah.
that you got indoctrinated.
Yeah. Okay.
And like, what is that? How do you respond to that?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I would say, if universities have any agenda, it is to educate people and to help people research and think, and that is the goal. I mean, I went to university in Idaho, for crying out loud. It's a very red state. It worries me that is what some people think, because it demonizes education.
Yeah.
And education is really important. It's really, really important. And so, yeah.
When you're in your classes
Yeah.
and you're learning,
Yeah.
and your views are changing a little bit, it's like, it's not because you're being told what to think. It's like you're being introduced to information, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
What was that?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. No one told me, no professors told me, maybe like peers who felt
Sure.
strongly would try to like tell you what to think, but like learning in courses doesn't look like this is what's right, and this is what you should think, and this is what you should believe. It provides you with information, and it shows you how to pick out what is factual and what is opinion,
Yeah.
and how to research like appropriately.
Yeah.
Anybody can post like a website and a statement on the internet, and so you just have to be careful about like where you get your information from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was no, this is how you should think. It was like, okay, it was a lot of asking questions.
Right.
It was a lot of asking questions and being asked questions,
Yes.
and having to be like, okay, well, let me look into it.
Yeah. Wait, how do I actually feel about this?
Yeah.
Like you said right at the start, like no one's ever asked me why. and yeah, and actually like looked for
Yeah.
an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's. I know we've got the Charlie Kirk video that we're gonna watch
Yeah.
in a
Let me
bit.
just
But
check
what
my
else? What
notes
else
here.
did we hit? Did we miss anything?
Let's see here.
Thank you for this. This, by the way, this is Sydney. I am. You may have guessed this. I'm not as prepared.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I think we covered everything that I wanted to say about those points.
Great. Well, let's take a quick break, and we'll get out the computer and change the setup a little bit so that we can watch a video and watch it with people.
Okay.
Great.
Sounds good.
Cool.